Hello everyone, welcome back to Stirlingshire Homestead. So here we are once again, we're on the opposite side, building shelves. I probably showed you guys the other shelves the other day, and just as a disclaimer, none of the products in this video are sponsored, but I like them. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Anyway, so we're getting ready to put new cabinets in this side right now, and we're lining everything up, and I put beam in the back, and we countersunk the screws really far so it would hold in, and I put our spots, our carrying, I'm going to call them carrying beams that we use to put the actual track on that the drawer sliders use, or the drawer sliders, this is what these are called, I think. The drawer sliders themselves, they're going to put those on these support beams here. So we're going to have two drawers, one at the very bottom and then another one, I want to say that's about 12 inches up. And so this one will probably go almost all the way up to the top, and this one I'll probably have as close as I can to the bottom. But the idea now, it's going to be a little bit, we're going to build the drawers themselves, and once that gets all squared away, we'll show you guys at least what the drawers look like and maybe how we install them. But this is what we've got so far. It's quite the ordeal. All of my other stuff is kind of just stacked up from where this is, and it's a lot of different things. So the hope is with drawers this will organize itself a little bit better too. So we'll see in a bit. Alright, welcome back. So this is what we've got. I've got two drawers over here. That one closes pretty well. I use the barbecue sauce. It's a giant barbecue sauce as a measuring stick. As a measuring stick for the bottom. And this one closes pretty darn well here. And that's done now. But there's a lot of stuff that kind of gets wonky in this. I don't know if you see these. You probably can't. But right on the inside, right in here, you can see I had to put two washers as a spacer. And this is what I'm talking about. When you install these, unless your width on this is absolutely perfect, I would recommend going a little smaller with your drawer size. And then if you need to get it bigger to fit into the actual tracks when you slide the drawer in, shim it with some flat washers. So I have a little bit longer screws. I have an inch long screw that I bought. And if I needed to, I would trade out the half-inch ones, put in an inch screw, and then shim them with a couple of washers. And that actually worked out perfect. This particular one before I shimmed, I would put it in on one side and it wouldn't quite reach here. We were off by about 1/8 of an inch. I took two washers on this side, two washers on this side, and that fixed it. And now it slides in and closes perfectly. So that's one way to do it. If you are building these on your own, that is actually what I'd recommend. But now that they are done, we've got access to all of our pantry stuff, and it pulls all the way out and gives us the access that we need. So that's what we've got going here. The other thing I recommend, if you're going to do this yourself, make sure that the space front to back is completely equal. That means the space that's from that back post to the edge is the exact same width as this front post to the other front edge. If it's not, you're going to have a hard time and your track is going to constantly pop off. So now, the dog has been sitting so patiently in her bed. We're going to try and take care of some of this mess. This is half of the mess we can at least put back. And we'll get rid of these plastic tote things because they're not nearly as big. And we'll fit everything into these two drawers now. My project for tomorrow is to tackle the other side. This is a much bigger drawer and a much bigger space. What we're going to need to do here, more than likely, is find a way to either shim to the corner post there in the back, or create a different sort of setup for that. I want it to come out equal with this post. The other thing I want to try and do is not waste the space in the back section. If we have to come all the way to here, we may as well make a little cut and come all the way in the rest of the way. So we'll figure that out as we go, but we definitely are going to put two more drawers in here tomorrow. It's just a question of how this is going to work out. It's going to be a lot of measuring. Like I said, for this first set of drawers, I'm going to measure from here off to the corner of this, and then check the back too, and we need those to line up perfectly. Once we have that on both the bottom drawer and the top drawer, then we should be set, and I can build the drawers and then put those in tomorrow. So it's going to be a little bit, but hopefully we'll get this all done by the end of the weekend. Anyway, see you in a few. Well, we are back. We're on day 2. Just put the braces up on the right. Let me zoom out a little bit for you. Just put the braces in on the right, and I had to be careful of my water line. I had to relocate my electrical piece up just a little bit. This piece right here, it was a little bit further down. I undid the staple and moved it up. But now we are exactly 19 5/8 apart from one set to the other set all the way around. So now the only question is what the depth is, and then we'll be able to make our stuff. See you back in a bit. Well, middle of day 3, and we finally finished these out. 3 of these work excellent. This top one here closes exactly as it should. Bottom one here closes exactly as it should. The only problem is it gets a little sticky towards the back. Same with this one. This top one here. This is probably my worst nightmare. I had to redo this about 3 times. It's like the pulls that pull this back to place after the stop slide aren't working exactly right. So I might just disable those, because that's a lot of different space, or a lot of wasted space there that's not quite being used. I do have the option, because I shimmed this, to take out a couple washers in the back corner. That might help, but I don't know that it will. I think this is actually an issue with the piece that pulls the drawer back in, because the tension on the drawer feels just like all the other drawers. So I'm thinking that we're okay. I might just leave it like that, because it's not really a big deal for us. This bottom one works as it's supposed to. I actually think that one works the best. So, all said and done, here are my recommendations. If you're going to use drawer pulls of any kind, these are the kind that I bought from Menards. They're just the full extension, soft close drawer pull. If you're going to use those, my recommendation sincerely is to make the actual drawer itself about 1/4 inch shorter than what you need it. That way, if you get a drawer that isn't quite right, or you get a drawer that's slightly wider, or you mess up when you're doing the butt joints on these, that you can shim the actual sliders themselves and make it work. Now that this is done, it looks quite nice. The only thing I might do yet is put a piece of fascia or something along these, and we'll call her good. But I don't even think I'm going to do that, because it's just a tiny house. So to go from what we had to this, hopefully this will help us organize all of the food and the drawer nightmare that we've got going on here. So we'll get my tools back in the toolbox, and maybe I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's organized. If I don't, and you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, subscribing, and if you really want to support us, we will also have a link here at the bottom to a merchandise store that we started with a couple other things that Sterling Shire Homestead is going to start selling. So, from Anna and Isaac, signing off. Till next time, everyone.